6:30, we're taking a look at the investigative process for police. News 3 talked with retired Metro homicide detective Phil Ramos.
Yeah, he says it's really disheartening to see what is called bystander empathy. That's when people saw him walking with a weapon and didn't say anything. Ramos also offered his thoughts on what we can expect from Metro assisting New York police right here in Southern Nevada.
It's just, one of those things that you hate to see in the first place. And then with the Vegas connection, it's even more difficult to try and comprehend that. I'm sorry to say this, but it's just the state of the world we live in right now. And who knows when this is going to stop. Once the cops in New York determined that this guy was living here in Vegas, and they would reach out to our homicide unit and say, hey, we've got a major incident here. The suspect we're looking at lives there in your town. Can you give us a hand? And then all of a sudden, 3 or 4 guys will be assigned to assist the New York authorities by going out to the house, sealing the house, making sure there's no other victims inside that house, and then wait for a search warrant so they can do their thing. Generally, NYPD cop will probably jump on the first plane to come out to Vegas to more or less direct that search of that house and obtaining all that information. And it's all based on search warrants. New York will get a search warrant based on the incident. They send that search warrant to our guys, and those guys will use that search warrant as an attachment for the probable cause on the search warrant issued here for that house that they're going to. They'll extend all kinds of professional courtesies to New York. In the event that something has to be done that only our jurisdiction can do, then our homicide guys will go ahead and follow through with that. The New York cops will pretty much be in charge of that incident and investigation, and they'll coordinate with our guys to see, make sure that all the evidence has been recovered that they want. The photographs have been taken. The CSIs are doing their thing the way New York wants them done. Sometimes there's some minor differences between jurisdictions on how evidence is gathered and collected and preserved and stuff like that. So it's a joint effort. I would say it's a 50-50 effort. But then again, this is New York's deal, and they'll be the ones calling the shots. They'll do a full background on this guy. They'll go back as far as they can. I'm sure the FBI is involved in doing a background on him. They'll look into how he was able to obtain his CCW here from Metro and see what the qualifications were, which range he went to. They're going to dig up everything they can on this guy's history, including all his digital footprint, every device that they find in that house. Friends, neighbors, relatives will all be interviewed, and they'll spend quite a bit of time here trying to find out there seems to be a motive already determined by New York, but you never know what's in that house. And so that's why, that one image you saw of the patrol cars and the crime scene tape wrapped around the house, they had that house frozen so nobody else could come in and out until the search warrants were approved and executed. And once they're in there, there's no telling what they're going to find.
And Ramos also added that the investigation in the home is very complicated. He says that can take between 2 to 3 days. For more information on our interview with him, you can head on over to our website. That's news3lv.com. And this leads us to another question of the day. Take out your phone, scan that QR code. That way you can weigh in on this poll, which is on our website. So do you worry about your safety in large public spaces? So far, 68% of you are saying yes, you are worried, while 32% say no.
So a short